seen the first several episodes of The Acolyte get absolutely destroyed by Star Wars fans, and it is now undeniable, whether you look at the audience reaction or whether you look at the poor viewership, both the lowest in the history of Star Wars, that this is yet another Disney Star Wars disaster. And the fourth episode came out less than a day ago, and already there is some massive controversies. And we might as well get to the one that a lot of people knew about before going into this episode. After Leslie Headland and Amanda Stenberg joked about how this is the gayest Star Wars ever, and we heard a rumor that they were going to introduce very modern day type of pronoun usage in Star Wars. That's exactly what we got. The Acolyte Episode 4 officially introduces pronouns to live-action Star Wars. And when you see these headlines, you know you're not talking about he or him or she or her. Everybody obviously uses pronouns. We're talking about modern day usage of pronouns, specifically set up in a way to code people as non-binary or whatever it may be. And that was included in the episode. Here you go, Disney Star Wars pronouns from Nerdrotic.
What's that? This puzzle. Is he or they with us? What's that?
That's what we're talking about. Is he or they with us? You wouldn't want to misgender somebody in a galaxy far, far away. And is it cringe? Yes, of course it's cringe. Now, throughout the history of Star Wars, there's so many different species, thousands of different species up there, alien species. Some of them do go by strange pronouns, specifically if you're talking about the insectoid species that kind of work as a hive mind and kind of consider themselves all of one conglomerate, all of one hive. So they might refer to themselves in a little bit different way. And, something like that makes sense. You have other characters and species like the Gans in Star Wars who, until they accomplish some sort of great feat that means they should be known, well known enough, if they say the word I, people know who they're talking about, they might refer to themselves as just their name instead of using an I pronoun. Stuff like that. We've seen that, but this is obviously intended to be something different. And even places like Polygon are calling this out. Dear TV writers, please stop being weird about pronouns. The Acolyte is the latest example of a bizarre trend. This is the latest example of what I'm going to call the globby problem, expertly parodied on the other two. Well-meaning writers and showrunners, some of them queer themselves, trying to awkwardly insert non-binary or genderqueer representation in their show, usually through the show's requisite weirdo character. The result is instead often pretty othering. So they're even getting called out by that. But the biggest thing that you saw probably if you opened social media this morning was not about the pronouns necessarily, and it's about more canon-breaking bullshit from The Acolyte. And of course, I'm going to directly put the blame on someone like Dave Filoni, the person that all these people claim he just loves Star Wars, he's so invested, he knows so much, he cares so much about it. He's sitting there overseeing this canon-breaking bullshit because this is always what he's done. He's willing to do it to tell his story, or in this case, Leslie Headland's story. Star Wars fans go ballistic over the Acolyte's canon-breaking cameo. And yes, Ki-Adi-Mundi was in this episode. A young Ki-Adi-Mundi, or I should say a younger Ki-Adi-Mundi, which is just bullshit, to be honest with you. There he is. You can see him in this picture. You can see him in the credits. This is not some other Saurian Jedi. This is Ki-Adi-Mundi. Now, the first thing that a lot of people thought was, oh, that's weird because, Ki-Adi-Mundi, very well known for saying this phrase.
Impossible. The Sith have been extinct for a millennium.
So that's something that so many people look back to and said, how are they going to justify that? Well, now you have the very same person that said that. The Sith have been extinct for a millennia, now involved in this entire thing. And to be fair, they don't exactly know if it's Sith or what it quite is yet. But now you have this person smack dab in the middle. Maybe to get around, to say, well, maybe he covered it up. Well, blah, blah, blah. Who knows what they're going to fucking do? But the biggest point is that this motherfucker should not be alive. This show takes place over 130 years BBY, before the Battle of Yavin. The problem is, Ki-Adi-Mundi shouldn't have been born for another 40 years. But this is Disney Star Wars. This is Dave Filoni. This is canon-breaking bullshit. Ki-Adi-Mundi wasn't even alive. Make it make sense. Born in 93 BBY. That's Ki-Adi-Mundi. This show takes place 132 BBY. This should not be happening. He should not even be there. But this is what they do. Here's Raging Rhino with the tweet. Looks like Disney has destroyed more Star Wars lore in canon. Ki-Adi-Mundi wasn't alive during the Acolyte time period. He throws Dave Filoni under the bus, as he should. And then, of course, in the immediate aftermath, you see a big battle going on when it comes to Ki-Adi-Mundi on Wikipedia, because originally, even in the canon section, it said born in 93 BBY. And then all of a sudden, we have a flurry of edits on Wikipedia to try to their best to do damage control and to make it make some sort of sense. Eventually, they changed it to, well, he was born prior to 132 BBY because they don't have an exact time now. And if you go look now, it doesn't say anything. Usually it would say born right here. Doesn't say anything about born on Wikipedia. They're trying very hard to cover for this. And the laughable part is his species, they don't live that long. Their typical lifespan is less than that of humans. You know, to see a Saurian as old as Ki-Adi-Mundi in general was shocking. To see somebody live over 70 as a male for his species, that would have been shocking. Now, based on his appearance, the way he looks in Acolyte, it's not like he looks super young in that. You're trying to make us believe that he's now somewhere around the realm of, 200 years old by the events of the prequels. It's just complete and utter bullshit. And people will make the claim, well, anything that specifically described that was just in Legends content, and they don't have to stay true to it. They can bastardize whatever they want. Well, even in a material specifically for Episode 1, Episode 2, Episode 3, they call out Ki-Adi-Mundi's age. This was a card that came out for Attack of the Clones. His age during Attack of the Clones was 70 years old. He would not have been alive then. This is just absolute bullshit. It is complete and total bullshit. More canon-breaking stuff, whether it's so they can justify that he knew about it and was lying to everyone in this council sequence, or whether they just wanted you to be shocked that you saw somebody with this cameo. It's garbage. And I expect this score will continue to creep down and down and down because they just can't stop doing retarded things. But that describes Disney Star Wars. Absolutely fucking retarded. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.